All right, so this is another episode of NTG, and my name is Dixon. I'm here with my friend Doja.
Doja.
Doja. I think you feel a lot calmer now. I hope the mic will not bite you.
It's all right. I'm the one that bites.
It's chill. It's chill. So today we will be talking Afropop, and it's not what you think. It's not only what you think. It's-
It's what we want it to
you probably feel like I know AP now, don't you? In any case, it's just a short exploration of it would have been me going off the deep end and
be.
talking.
Okay. Let's see how
Well,
this is not that.
no, well, well, we'll see how this is not that. But it would have been me going off the deep end and doing a monologue about how I want, the term Afropop to be considered. Or I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It may just be me doing that. Do you have anything to say?
If I say it now, you say I'm accusing you of being deep.
I mean, do you have anything to say besides that? Like,
No,
moving on.
I don't have anything to say, right? So
I have nothing to say either.
okay,
So
we're
we'll just end the episode here.
See you in our next episode.
Chill. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. But do you honestly have anything to say? What do you know Afropop to be?
What do I know Afropop to be? I know
Yeah.
Afropop to be what Afropop is on the internet.
What is Afropop on the internet?
If you search Afropop
People,
on the internet,
what will you see there?
Davido's
People-
picture. You see
Yeah.
Wizkid, you see Davido, you see Burna Boy.
Well, you're accurate too. I thought you guessed that. You're accurate if you search the internet.
Because that's what I did now.
Okay, you
Yes,
wow.
that's it. That's what.
Oh, you've done that before. I didn't know.
Yeah, so that's what you actually
Wow.
see when you,
Mm.
you know, go and search
Wow.
Afropop on the internet. You
Okay.
see those people's pictures. So, from what I know Afropop as,
as Afrobeats.
Afrobeats. Yes, Afropop as Afrobeats.
And it's chill. It's chill because that is what it is. And especially in this season, right?
Era.
This age, this era where we have like the music taking over the world, taking over like I hinted at that in the previous episode. There's a tendency to summarize all the music that comes out of Africa. Even Amapiano as Afrobeats. And by the way, there's a disparity between Afrobeat without the S and Afrobeats with the S. So Afrobeat without the S is the fella kind of music. It's the music fella did, and of course, fella is known to be the pioneer of Afrobeat. But Afrobeats with the S is like an umbrella term for popular music that comes out from like Africa. And now it's not just West Africa. Even though I found out that it's like Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, like people think Africa is just Nigeria, Ghana. And like there's Kenyan music. Kenyan music is beautiful too. There's Ugandan music. There are some artists that are doing incredible stuff coming out from there, right? In fact, some people, I mean, with all the, the classification or categorization into genre, people are doing their Afro fusion for their Afro swing. Say Afro, what's it called? Afro, what's the
You
grammar?
said Afro spiritual the other
There's
day.
Afro spiritual. Was
That's
it?
what you said.
I said it. Are you sure?
Yes.
I cannot say that kind of thing. I'm sure it's Afro
You
spiritual.
said to my sings Afro spiritual.
Okay, yeah,
That's what you said.
yeah. But how kind of music cannot? What
It's
is our
Afro-
genre of music?
It's Afro gospel.
Afro spiritual, bro.
Are you serious?
She
It's
makes
Afro
sacred
gospel,
music
actually.
with African instrumentalization or instrumentation.
But she seems it's a lot of Afrobeats, Afro gospel artists anyway.
Well, I have a problem. Well, I think it's inevitable having to categorize music based on the subjects. I think it's better to categorize music, that is, create a genre for a music, for a piece of music based off of the instrumentalization of the music or instrumentation. I don't know which works if instrumentalization is the word. I think it is easier. Like folks just, there's hip hop that is made about like Christian subjects, and people just say it is Christian hip hop. I think it is in the beat, folks. I mean, maybe I may change my mind going forward, but I think it's in the beat to I don't know, segregate, really, because nobody says music. Nobody does any other of the categorization for music about like sex, or music about politics, or music about love. People don't call it that. People don't say love pop music.
Afro love.
Nobody says that. Like nobody says
Afro depression.
you get you get nobody says that, right? But then you just call the music R&B.
I think right.
Yeah.
I think what that is, right, is the fact that people have known, especially for Afro gospel or
Yeah.
Christian hip hop, something like that. People have known gospel music to be in a particular way or sound a particular way.
Okay.
And then they forget that God created music, the whole concept of music.
Yeah,
so the fact that this one has to now see some, because some people feel like gospel music rather should not there should be nothing like
it should not
pervert it. You cannot dance to gospel music. It should not sound like the world, right? But the thing is that God is the one that created music. I don't want to,
I agree with you. God created music.
God created music, right? But then God created music. God created the pop, the R&B, the
What do you mean by God created those? Let's just be clear.
Okay, no.
God may say let there be pop music.
No, of course now,
and
definitely.
then started popping.
Right, but then we can't just say okay, this particular section of music belongs to the devil.
Yeah.
Belongs to worldly music and all of that. So that's why they now try to say, okay, Afro gospel music with Afro beats or Christian hip hop. You get that kind of thing. I think that's just where the segregation is from, because we mostly just see it with Christian music.
Yeah.
Do you get?
I like that I got you talking there for you. Sound like you now have an opinion about this. But the interesting thing is that I maintain for now though that music should be categorized based off of its instrumentation, and it's always been that way. The reason why we call it Afrobeat, and I agree that all the music coming out from Africa, even though it has subgenres, Amapiano, there's Zulu kind of music, there's even like core Ninja kind of music, right? And the other kinds of music that we have, high life, juju, right? Hip life,
Fuji music.
Yeah, I mean, like there's even one self Bangolo. I think Bangolo. There is I know you're not born that time.
Wow.
Wow. There is one called is it Apaka? Not the food. I forget now, but there is a guy, Ainla. He's from your side. You should know him. Okay. You shouldn't know him. You're not born that time.
Know him,
it was in the Fela era, but they did a type of music. Is it Akpata or I don't know. But even though music has, there's Ndombolo, right? There are very interesting types of subgenres, and those originate from instrumentation. Really, it's just like what instruments go into making this type of music. And if it is African instrument, which it's the reason why we dedicated this particular episode to Afropop, because Africa is really rich with instrumentation. Like we have so many instruments. I mean, the Western world has a lot of instruments, piano, and other types of instruments. But we have exceedingly varied array of instrumentation. I mean, we even have the xylophone. The xylophone originated from us. We have the obodom. Do you know what that is? Do you know what the obodom is?
Did you go to boarding school? The Ibibio culture.
Yes. It has something to do with
it's just from the name I know.
There's this big jar. When I was in secondary school, there's this big jar. You use foam to hit on it. And then it produces
I know it.
My goodness, it was such a pleasure hitting that jar. So we have like a rich array of instruments, and I think that because of that, I think it's the reason why Afrobeats will never die. Like I think it's the reason why our music, it's too pleasant to the ears. It's too pleasurable. It's the reason why we will not run out. And another reason why we will not run out is because, observably, right, our artists are finding much more innovative ways to represent the music. I'm talking about lyricism now, and we'll talk about that in a bit, right? Thirdly, I also think that our problems not even finish.
So there always something to sing about.
Yeah, we always have stuff to. We always have stuff to say, right? We always have stuff to talk about. I think life is no joke in Africa, so we cope with comedy.
That's true, actually.
Yeah,
really true.
My God!
If you don't laugh, you cry.
If you don't laugh, you cry. Somebody said, I saw a meme and the person was like, I know they like me person. They tell me all is well, it shall be well. Somebody then came to the comments and said, Ngwa, it shall not be well with you. Since that is the word that
you want to hear.
That's the one you want to hear. So I think for those reasons, and also especially like music coming out of Nigeria, we Nigerians we are confident people. Nigerians are so confident, Nigerians are so confident. Nigerians are so confident. I think I watched an interview with that had Burna Boy on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and I think he was trying to say that Nigerians, if you tell them you are doing well, how did he put it? I don't know if I got it wrong now, but it was like, other countries, folks from other countries in Africa, you tell them you're doing well, they'll say, no, I'm not doing well. Like they want to manage, they have this managed lifestyle. But if you tell them Nigeria is doing well, it's like, I'm doing well. Yes, I'm doing well. And so we are very, very confident, and with our stuff, with our culture, with our music, right? Even the folks in diaspora, the Africans in diaspora, that like we're doing so well to put out our stuff. And basically, and I think it's the reason why we are having this wave. And I predict that with the wave of the music will come the wave of like the other aspects of literature, right? Now I'm talking movies now and books, right? We're already seeing it, even though folks always liked Nollywood. Now Nollywood is having a renaissance, like it's having a revamping where we're taking a little of the skillfulness from the West, and then we're using it to tell our stories proper, which I've always been a big fan of. Like for the longest time, people thought that Nollywood would not have anything to offer. I always believed that Nollywood had something to offer.
Nollywood fangirl.
Yeah, Nollywood fangirl. How long have you been Nollywood fangirl?
I don't know. Since I started watching movies, say like secondary school,
really,
junior secondary.
Did you not have issues with folks like that? Said Nollywood had nothing. So people said,
no, I still have issues with people that make those kind of statements about Nollywood.
That watch Nollywood,
like I don't. What do you even? I mean, of course, are you learning? Of course, we're not. I mean, I like people that like watching Nollywood because it makes me feel closer to home. I mean, if I see something in Nollywood, I'm like, okay,
it's relatable.
This is like, it's very relatable. I like what. Okay, this place is in Nigeria. Okay, this person can do this thing in Nigeria. I don't know, it just feels like closer to home than. I don't have a thing.
Yeah, it's country house.
I don't have anything
seaside.
Against.
All those things that you cannot really.
I don't have anything against.
As beautiful as the roof. It's cool. It's calm. It's calm. And even the bloopers count. Like there's a movie I saw where I swear down, I'm not making this up. Dxn Doja was flashing back to his childhood. Wait for it, bro. Wait for it. Wait for it. Even the bloopers, you take it as this is so relatable. This is, so Dxn Doja was in 2016. And he was flashing back to his childhood. Of course, we know how old Dxn Doja is. So whatever role he takes, he should be at least, as of 2016, he should be in his like 40s, 50s. So he's flashing back to 40, 50 years ago.
Okay.
You get. Wait for it, bro.
God. I don't want to hear it.
And in the flashback, there was a car behind.
Wow.
And the car had a poster. And the poster said, 2016 is your year. About that blessing. I died, bro. I died. and you know that this is the only thing. This is something that can only happen on Hollywood. I mean, the bloopers are part of it. So, but we've been doing a great job. I know Ramsey Noah took a hiatus and then he came back and he gave us Living in Bondage, and everybody was hailing him. And then he gave us 2 more movies. I think Nika did Pretty Serpent.
And
and then he now did Merry Men. I heard the 3 is. I
heard some things.
We'll probably talk about that in a future episode, right? But then 1 and 2 was calm. Like, I loved the 2 installments of Merry Men, and then there are folks that are giving us other incredible movies. I mean, the recent rave is A Tribe Called Judah.
Yeah,
which people are talking about. Have you seen A Tribe Called Judah?
Yes, I have.
Did you enjoy it?
Of course, I have. Yes,
I haven't seen it yet. I think I'll sit ahead of the episode where we'll talk about it. I look forward to it anyways. So with all of these tools, with all of these tools, the African story is being told properly, right? It's not, we're not, I think we struggled a little. I mean, coming from the Nollywood that has a lot of bloopers,
that's 2016 flashback.
Yeah. I know you will not forget that. I know you will not forget that in your life. I swear. And to the Nollywood that struggled trying to westernize things. So you see the Igbo culture trying to be represented, but then it's westernized. Or the Ibibio culture, they're trying to
be Nollywood. Don't do that.
The Igbo woman, the Igbo princess, she they speak for them.
When they're acting all those, they are very, very typical Igbo moves, and they are seeing some kind of I don't know. The hairstyle is not hairstyling. Someone wearing slippers. Don't do that.
Walk barefoot. And it's the reason why. I mean, this is totally unrelated, but it's the reason why I do not believe. I mean, in secondary school, we were made to, and I think it's proper training anyway. We were made to eat our swallows with cutlery. I think it's proper training. There was even this what's it called, story. I don't know how I believed that, but then our vice principal told us of a story that people were employed because they used cutlery to eat. Story. Bro, I don't know where my brains were though, but I believed it, and I think it's proper training. Although I rebelled my SS2, SS3.
Of course, everybody did. Everybody did.
I rebelled in my SS2, SS3, and I began to, but I began to eat with my hands, and I feel that the food, if it has a bar in it, if it has akpu in it, by the way, I think it's my opinion that Semovita is low budget. It's just low budget.
It's low budget. Let's not talk about Semo in this episode, please.
But Semo is a westernization of pounded yam and akpu. Bro, if it's not akpu, it's not. But it's fine. We'll eat it. We have it. We have it. So my say though is that it should be eaten with the hands, because the food was made to be eaten with the hands.
Yeah.
And not, imagine me eating jollof rice with my hand. The food was made to be eaten.
People should be allowed to do what they want to do. If it's that okay, you like to eat it with cutlery, but it should not be imposed on us that this is a bar, and so probably be using cutlery. Do you get? Let's not be imposed on us. They're trying to impose Western culture on us, as in
they have already. And I think that we've caught on, because it feels it's not even an imposition anymore. It's more like you are, you feel left out. You should feel left out. If I can eat with fork and knife.
Me, I can't. Even after the training of secondary school. Eat with your committee. You must come.
Girl, you can't eat with fork and knife.
They didn't allow us to use spoon.
We'll pause this episode and talk about it.
They didn't allow us to use spoon to eat rice. There was some. At some point.
What did people use it?
At some point, they said, if you're coming, if you're coming,
bro, the hunger will just kill you.
You have to bring your fork to eat rice. I'm like, bro. Until now, I don't see how to eat. That's not.
How did you miss out on the training after everything?
I don't know how I did it. I never used to eat.
Wahala. That's and you notice that's crazy, because you use it for kind of you'll be hungry. I know those white people are not.
And the funny thing is that we don't even have time to eat.
God, I said those white people. See, I'm not racist though. God, I promise you.
We don't have anything against
it's
white
just
people. I promise.
Context counts. Context counts. You were saying something.
I said we don't even have time to eat. That time as a junior student, they are giving you 10 minutes or 5 minutes to finish
and
eating.
the food will be very small, like what I don't know.
And you're supposed to use cutlery.
Supposed to now use cutlery before you are now done swallowing. The thing is the procedure that goes into cutting the eba and then molding it with your knife. You now mold it. Then you now use your fork and then you choke the thing.
That's why I was very tiny in junior secondary. I don't used to eat at all because I rather skip the process. It was too to eat.
Bro,
No.
I can't skip the process. Why would I skip the process?
No, I skip the process a lot.
There were folks in my school that not only participated in the process, but they participated for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or maybe even the whole table.
They're very good in the game.
Crazy. So we went here anyway because like the whole westernization of what is the African culture is appalling. And so that was a phase with Nollywood, and then it's now come to the point where we are now telling our stories properly. We know what to borrow from the West, and then we're now telling our stories properly. And I think this is a good time to be alive, right? Because it's an opportunity that, like I said, I predict a renaissance. Like I predict the way the music is taking over the world. I mean, folks are listening to Ashake in the UK. Like folks they don't even know what the guy is saying, but they want to listen to him. You know. So I predict also that wave will catch on with the movies and the books. Chinua Achebe did a good job, you know. If you I think it's the reason why he's called for many reasons. I think chief of the reason why he's called the father of African literature is, you know, the work he did to put Africa in perspective for the world. And I think that the writers coming along can benefit from, you know, that perspective.
Yeah.
I find also, and it's the reason why I like Nnedi Okorafor, although she does the mysticism. Do you read Nnedi Okorafor? Do you know her?
I don't know.
And there's Akweke, I think Akweke Imezi, right? And there's another guy. Have you read The Fisherman?
Mm-hmm.
We have an episode that we'll just talk about books.
Have you not mentioned Chimamanda in this? My voice is itching.
No, I know. People that read African literature only know Chimamanda and Chimamanda.
No, like I get that now, but like you have mentioned like 3 people like.
But I'm saying the guys that are coming along.
Okay.
Right?
All right,
calm
better.
Down. I'm saying it's something. I love saying it to the bone, but I mean, I feel like the guys that are coming along will benefit. Many of them are catching up. But what I have issues with is the fact that, and this is not criticism, this is just, I'm talking about books from a consumer perspective. Like, I mean, I don't have enough authority and enough props. I don't have the ethos to, I mean, I don't have enough ethos to be criticizing. But as a consumer, I think that, you know, there's just no need to write what will sell. Just write stuff that people will enjoy. Now, that looks like the same thing, right? Writing what will sell and writing what people will enjoy. Writing what reflects reality, especially if you are doing what they call realistic fiction. That is, you're writing from, you know, you're writing something fictitious that is set in a real place, in, you know, realistic place, a non-fictitious place. I think you should do a good job of the representation. It's the same problem people have with movies, you know. So the guys that are coming along are catching on, you know, with, you know, telling, you know, the African story, but they are trying to adulterate it with experiences that are not African, you know. Yes, you know, and I think it's affecting the culture, it's affecting the climb, and it's the reason why we have a podcast like this, because, you know, you're writing a romance. What happened to? I was speaking with a friend. It could be a romance novel, right? That is purely African. You know, that has evil forests in it. Do you get that? It's purely, like, I'm for real, like, it's purely African, that's set in, you know, a purely African context and has things, behaviors, attitudes that are not Western. And I think that that's totally fine. The moment we begin to well, what has happened has happened. The globalization has happened already. So, but the moment we begin to do that, we give to the generation, and that's why my generation, when I was much younger, I tell you a story now. I tell you a story, you wouldn't believe it. When I was much younger, I was very local, right? I was very, very local. I couldn't speak English till I could only speak my vernacular. I don't know if I've told you this before.
I mentioned
I mentioned, but I know you'd not believe it. I couldn't speak English. I can't speak
profile.
What? I couldn't speak English till I was 7. I spoke only my vernacular. I was like a local boy, very very local. I still am in many ways a local boy. Interestingly, they flogged the vernacular out of me. Now I can't speak it so well. If I speak vernacular, folks will think that I'm a fraud. But I do a good job. Right? I do a good job. Let's leave that out of the talk for now. In any case, though, there were like these other kids that came from Lagos, and so like they were very posh. They were very clean. And those kids, those type of things, those type of scenarios can be very intimidating for parents, not even for the kids. Although it was intimidating for us, because me waiting, I don't send anybody. I'll go and play with you. If you can play, then I'll play with you. But the lady who raised us, she was our guardians were disturbed, so they changed schools, they banned vernacular in the house. We couldn't speak. That phase was tough for us, because for 3 months we were like dumb. Go to school, come back. When you say you have to demonstrate whatever you want us to get, because we also will demonstrate what we want you to get, and all of that. But the point is that it was very intimidating, and it came to the point in the training where at about 4 years forward, 5 years forward, I was ashamed of eating a bar when I was visited. Like, if I'm eating a bar with my siblings and then I hear a knock on the door, I will run. We'll take our food and we'll run. It was that weird. I know you cannot relate, because you were born into the situation you're eating spoon to eat rice.
Let's not push this question to me. Let's not do that.
It's calm. So funny story though, I was drinking curry one day. I was sipping curry when my friend came over. My friend was was 2 years on me or 3 years on me. We were very cool friends. I almost mentioned his name on the podcast, but I won't. And I was drinking Gary. Now Gary, where they drink? And I heard my friend coming to the balcony.
Your friend.
My friend. He was my friend.
I'm saying that. Yes. He was your friend.
Yes. I was not supposed to have shame around him. But bro, I hid my Gary away. Hey. Guess what? We played for an hour. I forgot that I was drinking Gary. Like, we gisted, we played. I forgot some, the things that teenage boys do. We just did those things, and so we played, and then I don't know. We got to, I don't even know what happened, and then something went to that part of the chair, behind the chair where my Gary was hid. My Gary was hidden. You know what happens next?
Oh God!
Oh my God! I don't want to tell you what happens next, because I wanted the ground to swallow me, bro. So we get to that point where we are ashamed, right? It's catching on in the books, and I think, and the Easterners are doing a good job with that. So, like, I mean, the eastern part of the world, China, India, they try to represent, even though they've been caught on with the globalization, they try to represent their cultures properly. Maybe borrowing tools from the West, right? Because it's no lie, the West has been very advanced with using these tools, right? And they've borrowed, they borrow the tools, they tell their stories. It's incredible that they've done that, and they've done it while preserving their culture, because the generation after that, and the generation after that, and the generation after that, gets to benefit from what it feels like to be this person, and not a hybrid situation where it's like an admixture of this and that and this. I know that culture evolves. It's a characteristic of culture. Culture is dynamic. That's what they say. But I also think that there are core elements, right? Are core characteristics of culture that should not be subverted. Like, I don't know. I just believe so. And when it comes to like Africa, right, I think that we should fight to retain, because we are very rich. We're very rich. I think we should fight to retain our heritages, right? This even flows to the crafts, right? And our focus for the podcast is just really literature and how it affects culture. But I think you should go, this could be said about the crafts, about fashion, which, by the way, we have some rich fashion, right? We have some rich, the other sculptures, right? artifacts and all of those things. I think we are reaching those, and so we should fight to, preserve them.
Like let's say that if we are evolving, we're evolving within our culture, not evolving into
something
another
else,
culture.
right? I believe so. I believe so too. And it flows to the kind of lyricism we talked about that earlier, that is used. There was a time when, and I love Banky W, by the way. And there was a time when people could only listen to music that made sense. Music because of the lyricism, obviously. People listen to music that makes you think. Where you are listening to Banky W. Banky W had this R&B swing to his, and the way he even pronounced this, omoge, pronounced it like, what was even, yes, no, yeah, I think Valentine's season is the season where folks used to sing that song, would you be my love? Mm-hmm. Yes, no, it's giving you Western vibe, and I totally love it, right? But I mean, he tried to infuse the culture. And I love the guys that also took from the West, the new music from the West, production and everything, but then they put our elements into it. Yeah, but you find in this, it was a struggle then. Folks were like, I cannot listen to this music if it makes sense, But Afrobeats will show you that sometimes it doesn't need to make sense. Like, I was listening to, the genius, what's it called? There's this YouTube video. There's this YouTube channel rather, called Genius. So they give you the meaning behind the lyrics. So they bring the artist to tell you like what he was thinking when he wrote this line. And so Rema was breaking down to maybe. So like, do maybe Balanga Nisha. When he said that part, he doesn't know what he said. It was just lamba. He was just saying whatever came to his mind. And sometimes I've been of the opinion that, you listen to music only because it makes sense and yada yada yada. But bro, sometimes the situation of things doesn't even make sense. Like life itself sometimes does not make sense. So I feel like if that is part of our experience, then it's inevitable. It just follows that it should reflect in our pieces of literature, like our movies, our music, our books. Or is it, you want to tell, a lady how sweet she is, how beautiful she is. Doja, you are as glorious, as beautiful as the lilies, as many stars in the sky.
The morning sun. Oh! This Nigerian to look at the morning sun.
When hunger is catching you, you just want to kill. You just want to hustle for daily bread.
You look at the morning sun. I remember when I was just there was this there was this this or that. Yeah. I said sunset, so it was something like that. And then someone was like, I never even see the sunset. Where I want to see sunset.
I don't see sunset. I don't see sunrise. I daily bread at the mind. Bro, crazy. But somebody like Fireboy, and yes, I will say Fireboy because bro, Fireboy will tell you that you're too sweet. You sweet like agbalumo. You sweet past mango. Come on, like it makes you to think. I think I heard the lyrics for Soweto. This popular Soweto that people were dancing to. I had TikTok videos. Victoni, he said, body they draw me like Ogbono. Come on, that is something that people can relate. I know the white guys would, and I'm not racist, please. The Western folks will just be dancing to it. They don't even know what is being said. But when somebody hears it, or Omali will try to describe betrayal, and then he tell you things like, I give you my necklace pendant, or he tell you I enter ring because I give you umbrella. Or you make I cut my weave-on, or make I cut my dread. That's stuff people, I know people dance to it in the club. Like that's when you do me under and if it's under. I think I just dance.
Afro depression.
Afro depression. That's Afro depression. But Afro depression is what people are dancing to in the clubs. Come on. So I mean the shared African experience is something that I think I heavily propose that it should be reflected in our music, our movies, our books, our literature. And that in itself being culture, right, is what I also purport should be called the Afropop culture. So all this long yarn to explain what we mean by Afropop. And Afropop is not just the summarization of like all the music that comes from Africa. But in a sense, just the same way, the Western culture is called popular culture, like Western popular culture. I think like the African popular culture, as we have it, the current climb, should be seen as the Afropop culture or Afropop. So basically, with the following points of mine,
I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you that
mothers are better than fathers.
Woo! But for real though, I hope we'll be able to convince you that actually Afropop is not just about, the music that comes out of Africa. Remember, at the beginning I said what we want to call Afropop, right? So Afropop is not just the music, there's the whole African culture, involved in it.
Exactly. And I think that central to the themes of our podcast is all of this, literature, African literature specifically, and how it affects our culture. So till the next episode,
we will see you. No, we'll not see you actually. Yeah, you will hear from us.
But come on, it's not that deep now.
Oh please.